Hello and welcome to 15-Minute Yoga. My name is Bill Ike and I'll be your host. Over the next 15 minutes or so, we're going to move through some flows and poses, some yoga poses and some related to yoga poses that will work our hamstrings. Let's get ready. Now for this class, we'll start in a seated position and you might want to have a belt or a strap. If you need to turn off the recording for a moment and get one of those, please do that now. Let's begin. Let's start by moving into staff pose. In staff pose, our legs will be extended, hands will be back by or just behind the hips, palms flat on the mat or the floor, fingers face forward. Pull the toes back toward the chin, toward the knees, and sit up straight. Let the crown of the head rise up toward the ceiling. And we're going to do a little movement, very small movement with the feet. We're going to let the feet come forward and then pull them back. Forward, pull them back. Forward, pull the feet back. Forward, feet come back. Two more times. Forward, pull them back. Forward, and back. We'll hold them pulled back a little bit. You may feel a little stretch in the calves and the hamstrings as we do that, and that's our goal for today. Now, take your strap or your rope or your tie and hook it around the bottoms of your feet. I'd like you to hook it low down toward the heels, and the arms should be outstretched as much as possible. Once again, let the sitting bones sink into your mat and straighten the spine. Crown of the head rises up, and then begin to fold forward, pulling on your strap. Don't lock your knees. Knees can have a bit of a bend in them. And as you get to a point where you don't think you can fold any further, let the head and neck relax. We're going to stay in this position for several breaths. Come back up. Now remove the right foot from the strap so the strap is only on the left foot. Turn the torso just a little bit over to the left so that it's kind of aligned with that left leg. And once again, pull forward on the strap. Let the body fall forward. When you get to your edge, let the head turn down and be relaxed. Like me, you might find that you really can't fold very far. That's okay. If you feel a bit of a stretch in the back of that leg, that's what our goal is. Come back up. Put the right foot back into the strap and take the left foot out. Turn the torso over toward that extended leg where the strap is. And once again, begin to pull and fold forward, letting the head relax and the neck soften as you get down to your edge. Come back up. Set the strap aside for now and come down onto your back with the knees bent, feet flat on the mat. Send the arms overhead. Now, bring the right leg keeping the knee bent in towards the torso. Foot comes up off the mat. Swing the arms around, grasp behind that leg, and then straighten the leg, flexing the foot, pulling the toes down toward the nose. Then releasing the toes, bending the knee, dropping the foot back down to the mat. Arms extend overhead. Other side. As you pull the left leg, knee bent in towards the chest, the arms swing around and grasp behind. They pull it in a little closer to the body. The leg straightens and the foot flexes, toes point down. And release that foot back to the mat while the arms go out long overhead. Back to the right, knee comes in, arms come down and grasp. Leg extends, foot flexes. Foot comes down to the mat, arms go back overhead. Left side, knee in, hands grasp, leg extends, toes toward nose. And release, everything's arms stretch, foot comes down. We're going to make a little flow of this, holding each leg into the air, pulling the toes toward the nose for just a couple of breaths. Back to the left side. And once more on each side. And last one here on our left leg. And release. Arms come down by the sides. Now we're going to do a similar movement here where we'll focus on just the right leg for a bit and then the left. With the arms by the sides, knees bent, feet flat on the mat, bring the right knee towards the chest, foot comes off the mat, reach behind the leg, behind the thigh, pull that in tight towards the chest, and then straighten that knee, foot goes up toward the ceiling, maybe it can straighten completely, maybe not, might stay bent a little bit, toes flex down towards the nose, and then release everything, knee bends. Straighten again, hold for several breaths, and release. Straighten again, hold for several breaths, and release. Two more on this side, straighten and hold, and release. Once more, straighten and hold, and release. Foot comes to the mat. Other side, left leg, pull that knee in toward the chest, foot comes off the mat, grasp the leg behind the thigh, straighten the left leg, let the left toes point down toward the nose, and release, straighten the leg, and release, straighten, and release. Two more, straighten, and release. Last one, straighten, and release. Very good. Please get your strap again. We're going to wrap the strap around the bottoms of the feet, just below the arches, right around the heels. And we're going to let the strap bring the feet up high. Pull those feet back toward the face, feeling that stretch in the back of the leg. Slip the left foot out from under the strap and let it come down to the mat. Take both ends of the strap into the right hand. Strap is around the right foot. Let the right leg fall open to the right. Left arm can extend out as a kind of a counterbalance here. Let that foot go as close to the ground as you comfortably can. You might have enough stretch in the inner thigh and in your hamstrings to get all the way to the floor. Let the leg come back up. Bring the left foot up to join the right in the strap. Take the right foot out and let it come down to the mat. Put both ends of the strap in the left hand and let the left leg come off to the left, coming down to the floor or as close as you can get. Right arm might extend out away from the body in a kind of a tree position or T position as a counterbalance to that leg. Let that leg come back up toward the ceiling. Remove the strap and set the strap aside. Roll over onto your stomach and come up into a tabletop position. Extend the right leg long, keeping the toes on the mat and pushing back through the heel, stretching both the calf and the hamstring. Bring the knee back down to the mat. Left leg extends, toes on the mat, pushing back through the heel. And release, let the knee come to the mat. Curl the toes, let the hips go up and back. Downward facing dog. Spend a moment in your down dog pedaling the heels as each heel drops toward the mat. We stretch the backs of the legs a little bit more. And come to stillness, look up between the hands and step as many steps as is needed into a forward fold. Now bend the knees very deeply in this fold. Hands come down to the floor, to the mat. And then straighten the legs and bend. Very small movement. Straighten the legs, hips go up, bend, and hips come down. But as we straighten, we might feel a stretch in the backs of the legs. The next time your knees are bent, come up to a half lift, hands on chins or thighs. Exhale, fold, and then inhale, pushing the feet into the mat. Arms come all the way up, palms come together, and then the hands come to heart center. We are going to move into a position where the right leg, the right foot is facing the short edge of the mat, the front of the mat. The back foot is not too far away at an angle. Turn the torso, hands on hips, turn the torso so that it is more or less over that front leg, and then begin to fold over that leg slowly, letting the hands go down on either side of that extended front leg. Make sure there's at least a micro bend in the knee, and let the head and neck relax. You might not go down very far. That's okay. That's going to depend on how tight that back hamstring is. Come back up. Arms are down by the sides. We're in our mountain pose. Hands go up high. Palms turn away. I fold forward and come down onto my knees. I'm in tabletop temporarily, shifting my hips back and then swinging around into a seated position, extending the legs back into that staff pose. Hands are on the floor, back by the hips, fingers point forward. Once again, move the toes back and forward, back and forward, back and forward, back and forward. Cross the legs into an easy seated position. And that concludes our 15-minute yoga for today. Please feel free to remain in the seated position or to move onto your back for several minutes of relaxation to let the benefits of the pose of our work accrue to your body. Thank you. Happy yoga.